lesson.
Like I said, it's a touchy situation. People might look at this video and, I mean, there's always gonna be somebody that's gonna say something. There's always somebody that's gonna have something negative to say. There's always somebody that's gonna make a joke out of what anybody says. It's frustrating talking about it. I was 6 years old when my innocence was taken. It wasn't just a one-time thing. It happened every day until I was 10. I really don't know how to explain my story other than telling you what happened. You keep it in for so long and you've been wanting to talk about it, just have somebody listen. Like, so for 4 years, I was getting sexually abused. I always sit back and think like, why me? Because me as a person, like, I'm always there to help. Like, anybody who needs it, anybody who wants it, like, I do for others. If you are getting raped, tell. Like, the household we lived in, they were so fucked up. Like, I'm not about to hide who did it. I know who did it. The people know who did it. The police, the court system, the newspaper knew who did it. I hold grudges because what happened...
Grudges?
Yes. Grudges.
Okay, look. It's a possibility in my drunken state I have done things that I am ashamed of.
He just didn't get in trouble for it. I ain't covering it up no more. Like, my dad raped me for 4 years. And we were playing tag in the half bedroom, half bathroom room that I had. Oh yeah, our dad didn't really like us like that. My sister's room was his office. My room was their extra bathroom. Like, there's a whole sink and plumbing and shit in there next to my bunk bed, next to the drum set that he gave me to play to keep quiet. She was on the top bunk and I was on base, which was the sink in my bathroom. That's what it really is. And I told her, like, touch her foot. That's exactly what I told her. So she just runs downstairs. I'm telling. Me and my sister looking at her like, the fuck is she telling about? You know, we ain't say that, but past their room, past the dining area, past where we eat at, into the family room. They're in there watching TV and blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, Cassie told me to touch Danielle's butt. Long story short, everybody's getting in trouble and yelled at, like, oh, you shouldn't have been playing in the first place, and you guys go upstairs, but Cassie, you stay down here. So then him and my stepmom, she just denies it all. Like, it's okay. He's a creep. After I said yeah, my stepmom just, like, left. Like, he said something to her and she just left out of the room. It was pretty private. He said, so people touch you? I said, yeah. He says, people touch you down there? I'm like, no. He says, people touch you right here? No, they don't. So, when we first got a whooping from our dad, that wasn't no damn whooping. He didn't give us whoopings. He, like, beat us. I'm for real. People always thought I was weird because I came outside during the summertime with jeans on. Jeans and long sleeves. It was actually to cover the bruises and the welt marks. Like, but our dad used to hit us so hard. Like, after that first whack, you go numb in that spot. We call them super weapons because of the numbness that we would get. So our great grandma was getting sick and she had eventually died. And he told us we couldn't go to her funeral. And my grandma called. She cussed that man out. And we got a whooping for it. And he said, I'm gonna whoop you extra hard. I'll take her whooping. I'll take her whooping. He still whooped me. Still got bruises. Still got welt marks. He beat us and took us to my grandma's house. Dropped us off for the funeral. I tried to hop in first. But Danielle's just like, your bruises. My sister, she had bruises everywhere. Everywhere where she just thought her getting in the tub and our backs facing the wall, they wouldn't be able to see. And she's like, what is this? And like, she snatches my sister and like, she looks at her back. She's like, what? So many flashings of cameras and the police told my mom that, well, we don't know who did it. You could have did it. That was the first time I ever thought, like, can't nobody help us. I thought every single day, like, we're gonna die. Because everything in between is just beating, him treating us like we're not his kids. I'm gonna just give you an example. I don't know what I did. I probably didn't do anything because I usually didn't. But he told me, he said, you can't use our bathroom because you're not my daughter. I was like, okay, where do I use the bathroom at? He was like, in the basement. He was like, don't you use our toilet, don't you use our sink. You just better take a bath. And I had to use the bathroom really bad. I pooped in their sink. Like, I was trying to get like the poop down the drain and it wasn't going. Can you help me because I pooped in the sink? And my sister goes in there and she gets all the poop out the sink and she puts it in the toilet. She flushes it. I think it's me using the toilet. So I come downstairs and they're like, what was you doing upstairs? I was like, I had to use the bathroom and I was in the bathtub. So my dad goes upstairs and he was like, you really pooped in the sink? You pooped in the sink? So my sister's like, no, it was me. I pooped. And he was like, but why would you poop in the sink? You can use the toilet. That was the first time he whooped me naked. So then he tells us, when y'all get out of the shower, you need to start putting lotion on your body. Come downstairs. When you think none of it, when you think like, oh yeah, he's a fucking pervert. I told my sister she didn't have to do it anymore. She didn't have to come downstairs anymore. to put on lotion. Just me. That's when it started. He told me to take my towel off. He stuck his finger down there and he said, "Why is she so wet?" He told me, "Man, that thing fat. Somebody been touching it. What the fuck? Don't touch that. You're not supposed to be touching it." He said, You living in my house. Everything on you is mine. If I whoop you, would you like it?" And he told me to lay down on the ground. He laid me on that floor. And that was the first of many times my dad sexually assaulted me. And we got violent because I was just like, I don't want to do this. Hurts. I would bleed sometimes. The curricular activities for us in the basement. And he always used to take me to my stepsister's side. She was into dancing or ballerina or whatever bullshit. She had a big ass mirror down there. And he would watch himself do it. I tried to run one day. And I fell up the stairs. He tried to grab me and push me. And there was a nail on his stair. And it hit me in my chest right here. Pulled me and it made a big old scar. That's the fucked up part about it. I want to say his wife knew about it. Ain't no way around it. There's no way that you didn't. He used to take me out of school to give him oral sex. I'm learning. He done signed us up, put us in a Catholic school. We used to go to Jordan Catholic school. Swear they were holy, God-fearing people. We watched The Simpsons. Every time they said a cuss word, we had to say, "Thank you, Jesus." We couldn't watch people kiss on TV. If we did, we had to turn our head. The only people we could watch kiss was The Simpsons. Every time somebody said a cuss word, it didn't matter if it was on TV or in person. Thank you, Jesus. We didn't get to go trick-or-treating. Thank you, Jesus. We didn't get to go out for the 4th of July. Thank you, Jesus. New Year's. Thank you, Jesus. We sat at my grandparents' house in a prayer circle. And every time somebody let off a firework, somebody had to say a prayer. Me and my sister think this shit's a joke. I remember Christmas in those households because we didn't get anything. My sister had a room inside of a room. He treated us so bad. My dad continued his nasty fetish with me. I just knew what happened. I was numb to everything. When we would get a whooping for no reason, I was numb to it. I didn't feel it anymore. Now we got taken away from him because of the beating, not because of the sexual stuff, just the beating. So now we're back with our mom, and it would just be a weekend thing. You guys got to go to your dad's house for the weekend. Go down because it was only on the weekend. But when the weekend came, they were worse than me doing it every day. Because he only gets these 2.5, 3 days. This shit continued after the police were informed, after we're grown. Came in there and he said, "Crawl to me and you better not wake up your sister." He told me, "If you bite it, when I give you this whooping, it's gonna be worse." Give my dad oral sex as he whooped me. As time went on, I got tired of it. I told my sister, I said, "Nana's dad's touching me." He's touching me in inappropriate places. He's making me do things that I'm not supposed to be doing. I told my mom. I said, ask Danielle. She knows. My sister said, no, I don't. So my dad had threats. He told us if we ever told that we get taken away from our mom. So our mom didn't do anything about it. And it kept happening. We were going to school, and my 2 cousins had got murdered. And we were talking to a counselor. And my counselor was just, asking if everything was okay, if everything was all right. And I told her, like, yeah, everything's fine, everything's good, everything's copacetic. And she was like, you can talk to me about whatever you want. She said, do you have anything else you want to talk to me about? I said, my dad touches me. It makes me suck his stuff down there. I said, but please don't call and tell my mom. What did you say? I said, my dad touches me down there and he makes me suck his stuff down there. But please don't tell my mom. I said, okay, I won't. You can go back to class. Relief was lifted off my shoulders, like finally somebody knows. Somebody believes me. They called me back up there. Castellina, you have to take your stuff up there, back to the guidance counselor's office. Take everything. She's standing there on the phone, and I could hear my mom. She said, I had to call your mom. She's like, things like this isn't something that I can just keep to myself. She said, I had to tell your mom. And my mom got on the phone, and she said, Cassie, baby, please don't tell me that's the truth. I said, it is. She was like, put that on Grandma. That woman was my heart. And I said, I put that on my grandma. Once that happened, the police got called. When the police got called, the police took my dad to jail. In the process of taking him to jail, he had the money. He was a very successful man. So when the newspaper got a hold of it, they didn't put his name. They just said a Rock Island man was accused of fondling a child. What in the actual... You touched your daughter. Your name needs to be in there. People need to know who they talking about. So he went to jail. He's sitting in jail. They go into the trials and stuff like that. I'm going through therapy. People got me in a room, which now I know it was like a little, they see me, I don't see them room. But I hear them. They tell me, circle every part your dad touched. I circle my mouth. I circle my vagina. And then there was a backside. I circled my butt. Another doctor. And they stuck a camera inside of my vagina. That was the very first time I ever seen the inside of my vagina. This shit down here fucked up. A lot of scar tissue. She might not be able to have kids. Like, hearing this at 11 kids because my dad thought it was okay to touch me. It's not. It wasn't. All this evidence, all of it, evidence on him, evidence. They tell my mom, like, they gonna want her to talk. I said, okay. She's gonna tell them what happened. I don't really know because nobody's ever really explained it to me. But when I asked my mom, like, what happened? Why didn't he get charged? She just tells me, like, they wanted you on the stand and the lawyer said no. So time went on and I'm just here suffering from it. can't sleep. I have nightmares. I started writing and writing and writing and writing. And that's what helped me, overcome a lot of the obstacles that you go through. And I don't like it. I see my dad when I turned 18. I was in a Family Dollar in Rock Island. And he walked in there, him and his wife, seeing me, and he mouthed to me, "I'm sorry." So my sister was in the store too. And when she seen him, she just totally evacuated the building, she just left. My sister was getting touched too. And I ain't know. But this is her adult time. She stayed in touch with these people because them is her people and they love her and they didn't think that she was not his daughter. But for me, yeah, they didn't like me at all. And it showed. But long story short, it's fucked up. My story's fucked up. It may seem like it's all over the place, but it's fucked up. I got my closure from it. All I ever wanted him to do was apologize. All I ever wanted him to do was admit it. And it took some time and some creepy ass conversations, but I got it. I got him to admit what he did. And you know what? It don't even matter no more because
it's a possibility. In my drunken state, I have done things that I am ashamed of.
I just rather you just apologize to me for something.
Because I was wrong.
But you're not telling me what you wrong about. You're not that's all I want to hear from you. The whole entire time that I have not spoken to you, all I wanted you to do was tell me sorry. That you didn't mean it.
Before.
No, you didn't. You know what? You did tell me sorry every time you did it.
Oh, now you remember.
Every time you did it, you said you were sorry, and it wouldn't happen again.
Cassie. We are here now. Where do we go from here?
What do you... I just wanted people to believe me. I just wanted people to know that this wasn't a lie. I'm 26 years old, and I've never felt like anybody ever believed me about this situation. They're just like, "Damn, is that for real?" Like, what the... Yeah. It happened to me. Moral of the story is to tell. Get help. Because it took me a long time for me to get... I didn't really get anywhere. There's nothing I can do with it. I got messages from his daughter saying well, I kind of figured something was going on. I can't do anything with it anymore. kids that don't even think I'm their sibling because he told them I'm not. Like, these are grown-ass men. Like, I wrote my brother on Facebook, like, he's a creep too. Like, I'm telling him, like, you know, I'm your sister. He go call his daddy to confirm it, and his dad told him, like, no. I even asked him about that. I got him on, I got everything that they needed to hear.
I claim I've never denied a child about it. And most people don't have to even prove it. I had no problem. I had no problem with you running around telling daddy, daddy, daddy until I went to jail.
Even then, before you went to jail.
You ain't mine, you ain't mine, you ain't mine.
Did you tell your son that, though?
Yeah, he asked me.
So you are telling people I'm not your daughter.
I told my son.
20 years ago. It's not something to sit here and play around with. I hope people take this video serious. My story wasn't in real depth details, but you get the logistics of it. Like I said, my book is in the process. I'm writing it. It'll give you full-blown details. I mean, I don't know. If you know the person who did it, tell. Don't feel bad. Don't think you're gonna get in trouble. None of that. Because if you don't tell, then what? They could do it to somebody else. You could easily help and prevent it. That's what I thought I was doing. Me not saying anything, nobody will know, nobody will ask, nobody will get in trouble. People need to get punished for their wrongs. I overcame it. I let my fear go. Found love. Had a baby. Hence the car seat back there. A lot of what my dad did to me prevented me from doing a lot of things in my relationship, not just sex-wise, just shutting down, not talking about my feelings, being quiet. Like, it affects everything. Your thinking process. Like, everything I think about my son, I always think, like, I don't want nobody touching him. I don't, you know, like, a little bit of closure. Somebody will listen, talk. If you gotta write it down in a notebook, just write it down. Thank you for watching my first. Sorry, I had to start off very intense and gruesome and gross, but it eventually had to come out. I'm assuming my first backseat chronicle. I could just tell y'all about me. Well, the bad part about me. Hopefully, you guys continue to keep watching, subscribe. So, thank you for watching my first backseat chronicle. There will be more coming to you later. I hope you like, share, leave a comment, anything. All right, I'm done.